Hey, AFTERBUZZ TV fans, tune in now for the Into the Badlands Season 2, Episode 4 recap, Palm of the Iron Fox.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I love
that you picked this song. It's so good.
It's perfect. I mean, it's been a long build-up, as everybody of the fan base knows.
I finally got what I wanted.
So satisfying.
Yes.
We'll definitely talk about it at length. For those of you guys just tuning in now, obviously we had to pay tribute, homage really. Pour some out for the homie. Actually, he's not even. Yeah, he's not even.
No, he's not even worth it.
Ryder. I was gonna say R.I.P., but I don't even. I feel like no. You know what? Just slide. I hope you just lie there.
Yeah, no. I said it. So happy.
Spoiler: our engineer, unfortunately,
hasn't seen the episode.
Is not current with the show, and just found out about this right now, literally. So that's too bad for you. But for everybody else, hopefully you did see the episode, because it was awesome.
Heck yeah, it was fantastic.
So good.
And just that fight scene with all of the Barons was so cool.
Yes. Before we get into the details, Alexis, where can they find you?
Hi, everybody. I'm Alexis Torres. I apologize for iTunes listeners and people who are watching, because I will probably lose my voice because I was screaming at my TV because it was so good watching it for a second time. You guys can find me all over the interwebs at atorres890. That's ATORRES 890.
Awesome. And you guys can find me, JB, at Hey John Blake. Mike is unfortunately not able to join us today, but hopefully he'll be here next week. He's got some issues to work out.
He's busy being awesome.
And you were busy last week, so I mean, I guess I'm the common glue that holds this whole thing together.
You're Sonny. You are the guy who keeps everybody together as much as he can try.
Totally. And although, I mean, speaking of that, it's kind of ironic you mentioned it, because Sonny was not in this episode.
And I think it's interesting because a lot of people are like, oh, he's the guy that keeps the show together. I'm like, no, I think everybody is interesting enough to keep the show moving.
Yeah, and I think this episode definitely proved that, because although he wasn't in it, it took until you mentioned that for me to realize, like, oh yeah, he wasn't.
Right? Yeah, because I was so intrigued to see what the conclave was going to look like and how it was going to portray and how Widow was going to do that I kind of forgot that Sonny wasn't even in there.
Exactly. And it felt very action-packed. We did get a lot of veil and everything, so I think the storylines that sort of involved Sonny at large were there, so I didn't feel like that missing void wasn't felt as much. Yeah,
my heart breaks for Vale because she's trying. Also, because I wasn't here last week, I finally saw what Vale was trying to do.
Yes.
Or trying to accomplish with the whole of his tumor and whatever getting bigger. Insane.
Yes, the whatever flower juice that she's giving him is not doing it.
Nope.
Definitely not enough.
Yeah.
It's no chemotherapy.
No,
juice.
I think that's literally just numbing all of the pain so he doesn't feel the headaches.
Yeah. No, just like, here, take some ibuprofen.
Yeah, like in liquid form, enjoy.
It's actually just booze. It's a very short-term fix.
That explains why he's so crazy, besides his tumor.
And so just handsy with Vale. But yeah, speaking of Quinn, we kind of start off with him this episode. He is leaving. He's getting kind of into his sentimental mood.
Yeah.
He's like, this ring, if I don't make it back, I give it to Henry.
And I was like, this is weird.
Yeah, very weird, because it went like 0 to we're a family very quick.
I'm so glad I wasn't the only one. I was like, okay, did you just adopt this family?
Yeah, totally not your son. Totally not your wife.
Yeah.
None of this is what you should be doing. You don't. Yeah, I feel like the whole hand-me-down thing or the like family heirloom can only really be passed on to your family.
I mean, I understand, because Ryder is a piece of crap, like a piece of just giant duty. Like
he is. I mean, just don't take your frustration and disappointment with your own son. And steal someone else's.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Like I mean, we've already know that Quinn obviously is completely crazy in that aspect, but like after the blood Simba, and it's just weird. Like it just it got to that point of just like, hey buddy, let's not push it. Let's just hang back. First.
Totally. I mean, at the same time, Vale has obviously been trying to kind of keep some of that hope alive in him. Like, she clearly sees what he's trying to do and while keeping him at bay from doing anything like extreme, she I think flirts with the line a little bit.
Yeah, because she wants
keep
to
him warm enough.
Yeah, exactly, and trying to make sure that
she's protected. Yeah.
Yeah, and try to keep at least herself in good favors, because I mean,
exactly.
As soon as she does one thing, he could just snap.
Oh, totally. I mean, yeah, and he is he has a very short temper.
Yes, quite.
He will stab people in the eyeball with antlers at any given moment, at the drop of a hat.
And again, just putting
no hesitation.
Simba blood right across the forehead. I'm just saying, stop.
No problem.
Stop
no
it.
problem whatsoever for this guy. So yeah, I mean, she's right to kind of be walking on eggshells a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he talks about the ring. That gets a little awkward.
So weird.
And she asks permission to have access to this sun room, like their
I forgot what it was called. It was like ventilation
their
room.
Solario, pretty much.
Oh my god.
Their solarium.
Like the little foyer that they like go into and just enjoy the sun. Like, I don't know, but yeah, I know what you meant. I don't know what it's actually called. I don't know if it's like ventilation room or whatever the hell it was called.
Right. I think she calls it the ventilation room. It's definitely. I feel like the actual like HGTV name for that type of room is like a solarium.
I think you're correct. That sounds exactly familiar. So I'm like, I don't really know, but I feel like that's correct.
Fans out there that are up with the home decor,
please let us know.
Please chime in. But yeah, she gets access to it, quickly plans a escape for herself. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of curious where she got that like grapple hook. Kind of out of nowhere.
I thought it was kind of strange. I'm
right.
assuming because the fact that they all have tools and weapons, that maybe someone just had one and she just stole it while no one was looking.
True. Yeah, I mean, in this universe, weapons are commonplace.
Yeah.
And the coolest ones ever that I've seen.
Well, I'm going to assume because of the fact that if you noticed when they were infiltrating where the conclave was, they had to use grapple hooks to get down.
Right.
So I'm assuming that maybe there was just an extra one lying around.
There's stockpiles of grapple hooks. People.
Yeah, or they were just like, hey, we're missing one. Go find another one. Exactly. Okay.
They are flush with grapple hooks right now.
Yeah,
that's a good point though, because they were planning a siege, so they were stocking up on grapple hooks.
Just saying, she was like, "It's gonna take one of these for later."
Yeah, that is a very good point. Astute observation, Alexis. Thank you.
I have no life.
But before we get to the conclave, I do want to kind of talk about Vale's escape, and she kind of warms up to she kind of uses to Edgar.
Oh, Edgar,
who is very much in the friend zone.
so far deep into the friend zone.
He's textbook friend zone.
Oh yeah, pretty hard.
And she plays him like a fool, unfortunately.
Oh my god! But she had to do it though.
She did. I mean, he kind of like throws a thorn in her plans originally, so she kind of has to play this song and dance thing with him at the bar.
I was waiting for it though. I was waiting for like either she's gonna knock him out or kill him or poison him or something. There has to be a thing.
And she did all of the above.
Literally
all of the above. She drugged him, knocked him out, then killed him.
Yeah.
When he chased her down.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy though. I mean, let's talk about that. I think the first murder, really? I mean,
at least from
self-defense, obviously.
Yeah.
But she killed a guy.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand where Vale's coming from, because the fact of she's doing this for her kid. She doesn't want to be held as a prisoner, especially after how Quinn's acting around her child and her. It's weird. So I thought for sure she was going to get out the first time, but I was like, no, we got like 35 minutes left, so there's no way that this is going to work out. So I didn't know how she was going to be able to get back down in time for him, but he was fiddling with the keys enough for it to be like a good amount of time for her to just kind of drop and then look like she was doing something. But I'm proud of her, because I felt like in that situation it could have went awry and maybe something bad could have happened. But I'm also happy that she was able to defend herself. But I'm glad she didn't get out yet. I want to have more time with that, because I think the really good escape is going to be like even better.
Yeah, and it's such an intense situation. Like, she is not trained as a fighter. She's trained more in medicine.
Yep.
She has a defenseless baby infant.
Yeah, poor thing. Just I love how my subtitles are always on, so it's just like Henry cooing. And I'm just like, that's all it does. Can't help you.
He's a man of few words at this point.
It's so funny.
A lot of coos.
That's what it says on that's what it says on the bottom of my screen. But yeah, so pretty much she had to put him down. I was like, that could have been bad. Edgar could have picked him up, and then it could have been just terrible for the rest of that episode. And then obviously she would have had to kill him, and it would have been the same scenario that we were in now. but I'm also glad that it wasn't easy. I guess like it's sad to say because I love Vale and I want her to succeed and get out of her situation, but I want to see her progress. If that makes sense.
It does. I agree with you, and I think she is very smart. She was able to kind of tiptoe around everything, get away like far enough. She like whipped out like the drug serum, did the whole like wedding crashers in the water.
Yeah, I was like
would drink or whatever.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's water.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird that they were like chugging it at like a bar, kind of.
Yeah, so I was like,
you never know. It could have been just straight like moonshine. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. I was like, wow, that moonshine must be real. Oh, God, can you imagine? Just like that's what we do here. We don't have water anymore. It's just Everclear.
Very hardcore.
I mean, we are in.
Just grapple hooks and moonshine. That's what they do over there.
Hey man, I just feel like if you're in the apocalypse and
true. I mean, what else would you do?
If the water is compromised because it's contaminated,
right?
Moonshine seems like the best option.
Yeah, it's the next best thing, really.
Man, my tolerance would be so amazing because I'm like a half a beer in and I'm like, woo! Like,
they are definitely the upper end of functioning alcoholics.
I'll take it.
Able to do that.
I'll take it.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think we need a little bit more. It can't be that easy for her to escape, especially given how good the Quinn is at doing what he does. He is very protective. Like his thing was the fortress.
Yep.
Like and everything we see at the conclave leads up to that.
Yes.
Speaking of which, natural segue to the conclave, the moment we were waiting for. We talked about this in the last after show with Mike. We were thinking, like, because we saw the preview of the next episode, and it blatantly showed a massive battle Battle Royale happening. And we were like, oh, okay, so there's no surprise anymore.
Yeah.
But there totally was. And I like how they kind of show that there was going to be action, but there was it happened in such a different way than I was expecting.
Yeah, it's kind of like, because I wasn't here for episode 3 for last week, like I definitely thought the Clipper that we met, or the former Clipper, I can't remember his name, the one who has like 999 or whatever on his
Silver Moon.
Yes, thank you. Because I was like, it's not Moon. That's incorrect. Silver Moon. The fact that I thought that he was going to be a bad guy, and he kind of was.
Right.
So like I thought that he was going to be a problem, but really he like welcomed them into his shack, home, whatever the hell you want to call it. Yeah, and fed them, let them sleep, and then obviously there was a giant battle, and it was great. So like I love that the way that the previews kind of pertain to like we'll let you know what's happening, but you don't actually know what like under the crust,
the context, exactly.
Yeah. So it was really cool to see how Quinn infiltrated it, because that's what I was trying to figure out. I'm like, clearly you're gonna just surprise everybody. I just don't know how you're gonna do it.
And that's something I wasn't expecting at all. I mean, I thought it was just gonna be with the widow and everybody kind of involved. That Ryder called to town.
Stupid Ryder. So
classic Ryder.
Oh God, I'm so glad we don't have to say that anymore.
I know, it's the best.
Oh God,
very satisfying. And oh man, it went down in the best way, which we'll get to. But first, I do want to talk about when she was like the whole conclave kind of play-by-play.
Go for it. I want to hear it.
Well, because the widow kind of goes up. There was a lot of talk, a lot of hype about this whole conclave thing. And, I think it went down pretty much as they expected or prepared for.
Did you think that the conclave was going to be bigger before they showed us previews of what, like, the barons that we were going to have?
Yes and no. I mean, I think they didn't go in depth with everybody. I think I would want more from that. There was enough characters, though, that I was like, okay, there's a lot we haven't seen.
Yeah, and I don't know if that means that we're going to get to see them, because clearly we got introduced to... I love Chow. I think she's great. I'm curious to see exactly what everyone owns, because we knew we had the fortress, which was the poppy fields and stuff like that. We had... or opium. And then we have the oil from Widow. Jacoby, I don't remember what Jacoby had, or maybe he had oil. I can't remember. But
yeah, I wish the intro was like a map like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, because I just want to know what everybody owns at this point in time, because I'm very confused. I mean, if you guys know, put it in the chat or put it in the comments down below. But it was just interesting because I was trying to see if I can like figure it out from like what everyone was wearing. No, that didn't help
not
me.
at all.
No,
not
I was like, well, forget it.
But yeah, I mean, it wasn't like too much. It wasn't like a huge like auditorium thing.
Yeah, it wasn't like a Game of Thrones thing where there's like several people and you're like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Who are you?
But yeah, there was enough where I was like, okay, that's interesting, and they're all kind of different enough that like really got the intrigue flowing.
Yeah.
And it was cool to see, obviously Chow was like kind of the main person that she was
love that there's another
with.
Female Baron. That's great. Or Baroness, I guess.
Yeah, another Baroness. And it was great, like even the costumes, like she was all in white, like the widow's
all in black.
In black.
Oh, so good. I loved her little like talons that she had. Like she only had like one or two.
Like finger thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that is a cool weapon.
You can, if you ever go to like Ren Fair or anything like that, you can get those. They're expensive, but they're pretty cool. My old roommate actually has one for each finger.
Oh whoa.
It's pretty sweet.
Intense.
I think I have a picture.
Do not anger her.
Yeah, no, seriously. But I think if you go to my social media, you'll see it. But like it's just really cool because like it wasn't overbearing. It's not like she was holding like gloves that had them on. She just had like one or two.
Yeah, just style points.
Yeah, so I was like,
much.
maybe metal. Maybe she owns metal. That would be interesting.
Maybe, yeah. And her weapon was kind of like a dagger thing. It was cool.
I loved all the different Barons' weapons of choice.
Yeah.
Like we had that one Baron with it was kind of grayish hair. He was a little older, a little bigger. He was in blue. He had like the knuckle ones.
The brass knuckles with the spikes were so sick.
So when he like grabbed somebody and was like,
oh man,
I was like, oh my god,
I absolutely wrote that down. Like he punched the guy in the neck on both sides too. I was like that is
fully
the
infiltrated.
coolest. Oh man,
I want
such an awesome kill.
So bad.
I mean, it sounds sort of bad saying that. Like, hopefully it's not taken out of context.
Show-wise, guys.
But in the show, very cool to watch someone get punched in the neck twice with those things.
And I love that Widow had her. She said that she wasn't allowed to bring her usual swords with her, so she brought little daggers from her. Insane. Because in my head, I'm going, if you just a little far. I feel like those are sharp enough that if you just like, you could just like scrape the back of your head.
Well, yeah, it was interesting because I think obviously they walk in, they're like, the mood is tense. Everybody is sort of like for or against like the Widow, which makes it seem a little like the politics run deep. It's even though Ryder kind of called it more as a general conclave thing, there's a specific agenda that was to get like rid of the Widow. That Ryder kind of did.
Stephen Otten in the chat said, with everyone thinking that Quinn is dead, there are only 5 remaining Barons, so there were 6.
Okay.
So yeah, I think at one point we said like the 7 lands, but I'm like, no wait, I think there's 6. So yeah, that makes sense. Never mind.
Nice. I like how everybody's keeping track.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, community.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like she walks in. A lot of Luigi death stares happening.
I know, right? Isn't that great? I loved every minute of that. Oh, Jerry actually gave us like a breakdown. So Jerry says Chow produces cogs, which makes sense. I did like the fact that Widow stood her ground on that. That the fact that she's like, the fact that I want to take in runaways, and she's like, no, I mean I can support you, but you have to stop taking in runaways. And I was like, oh.
And that's pretty messed up because again, as something that the Widow revealed that she was in that position, like she grew up actually, I think on Chow's farm on her land, and escaped and.
Pardon me.
Made it right for herself.
So we have Chow who produces cogs. We have Rojas who makes food. Hassan makes textiles. I'm assuming it's the one that has like the most. I remember one of one of his outfits that was like.
Right, there's one guy with the scars on his face.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. It's hard. And then
we're not quite on a first name basis with everybody.
We'll figure it out.
But it was very cool.
Broadmoor makes weapons, and Jacoby had gold, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then Quinn, and then Widow had oil and grains, and then Quinn had the opium.
Nice, yeah. So, it's a feudal society that all kind of has
everything
their part.
that was there made sense.
Yeah.
As things.
Right, and I think that kind of goes with the whole show, kind of overall. Like everything does kind of fit in its place. There's many cogs in the machine, if you will, and they all fit together.
Me? Why would you do this?
Dad jokes.
God.
All day. But I do think. Again, sort of, they go down deep and then like make it as a whole. Like the widow was saying, like, you know, when she got called out by Ryder, she was like,
Oh my God.
I know that A, this was gonna happen, and B, that all of you guys like had a contingency plan, and I know what that is.
It's just so dumb because in my head I was going, you guys already knew what was going to happen during this conclave. 1, 2. I love that Ryder was the one who was like, take a step back, guys.
Yeah, just,
okay, I know what's happening here. I'm like,
called my bluff.
Literally, I was just like, oh God, Ryder, shut up.
Yeah.
So
and that
frustrating.
kind of proves that like he really isn't fit to lead, because you know, he may have had this one great idea that like started panning out, but he can't think more than like a couple moves ahead. Like,
Yep.
you know,
And the fact that he thought that Widow was that dumb to be like, oh no, you guys were gonna vote against me. What do I do? What do I do?
Yeah, and it's like she's not gonna run away scared.
Yeah.
Or run away at all. I mean, I think that, and as shown by the battle that ensued, I don't think any of the barons like would ever let their guard down. Like that's why they're a baron. That's why the regents are who they are. I think because even though they had to like surrender their weapons and like not really
clearly
come in guns blazing, every single one of them had like Plan B weapons ready to go.
Yeah, like the guy with the cane when he just
he was
slipped
just like,
out. I
that's
was like, this
ready to
is
go.
amazing.
Like the brass knuckles went on.
Yeah, it was insane.
Waldo like undid his like wheelchair chain and like, man.
Somebody said something. Yeah, Walker in the chat was like, "Don't sleep on Waldo." Correct.
Yeah, seriously.
Like the fact that he can't walk, he was able to like when he got thrown out of his chair. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And he was like, Nope.
Yeah.
Cool. And
no,
I was like,
seriously.
so
Like, do
happy.
not count him out.
So happy.
Just with his hands, he was just.
Before we
go
get
down.
more into the conclave, I want to talk about Tilda.
Yes.
Because I'm a little worried about her. Also, that random chick who was like,
random girl.
Hey, I
Just
think it's
planning shade.
Also-
planning shade in Tilda's head. I don't like that.
but I also don't know if it was do you think that it was a smart idea for Tilda to go? I feel like it was because she got to save them.
Right.
But I'm scared that now because
it's gonna grow. That seed is gonna be growing in her head.
yes, and I don't know if that means that Tilda's gonna start feeling self-conscious. But also she left the butterflies unprotected.
Yeah, not a good move.
That girl seemed a little too eager to get her to leave, you know? I was like, I don't know what you're trying to do, but I don't like it. Yeah. Do you think that there's speculation, or we're just overthinking it?
No, I think that's a great thing to bring up, because we talked about this when the whole thing went down, and it was like, obviously she is upset that she doesn't get to go, even though I think it's honestly more responsibility to have her stay.
I agree.
And, you know, be the, like, next to run it if things went down and things went south, which they did.
Yeah.
You know, it was great that Waldo and the widow survived, but
yeah, but I don't know.
They could have easily not.
Yeah, because I mean, let's say if Quinn decided he wanted to hit up the widow's place plus the conclave, like I don't know if he has enough men for that, but let's say he tried to do that and we didn't get to see it this episode, and we get like this is what happened while they were away, and we just see them just like killing everybody.
Right.
Who's gonna get blamed for that? Tilda.
Plus, if Tilda had left like little later and they did die, then she's like gets there in the aftermath. They're probably already on their way back to the butterfly,
and then she would have to try to
and then she'd have to double back, and she'd be too late there too.
It would just
oh man, it would spiral out of control.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, again, I was happy that she was there. They had that bomb posing the three of them together, and I was ready for them to wreck just stuff.
Yeah,
just
a
wreck
little disappointed
everything.
that they let Chow go, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But no,
haven't seen the last
I
of
definitely
her.
agree with you in that whole Tilda thing. I think,
don't know, man.
You know, to me that was, even though she did sort of save the day, or, you know, actually save the day by saving Waldo and, you know,
I was like,
turning the tides, really.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think it does still show that she is like a little young and naive to be like a full regent, or
I
like
agree.
you know, like she still has some things to learn.
Yeah, I mean the fact that even though I'm really proud of her because she has grown so much as a regent and as a warrior and everything, I feel like also she is acting on her emotions and not thinking completely logically.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that like because you think emotionally you can't think logically. That is not the case.
True.
I just feel like she's following her heart a lot, and I mean I feel like anybody who really cared about their mother, especially someone who adopted her like that, they don't really act on that. They kind of just go fight or flight kind of thing. And so I understood what she was doing. I was just afraid of what her consequences may bring.
Right.
You know?
And everything that Waldo had said, you know, the reason why Sonny was the best is because he was like, he put emotion to the side.
Until he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think, you know, maybe that shows that Tilda like won't be able to I mean, not, I think she is capable of putting the emotions aside, but on this track that she's doing, like her emotions are still very much in the here and now.
I have predictions for later about Tilda.
Ooh, excellent.
I'm very excited.
Excellent. Yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot more sort of going on in this conclave after things hit the fan. You know, the whole reason that Quinn and the grappling crew
so ridiculous
were able to kind of penetrate this fortress is because they have a spy, Gabriel.
Freaking Gabriel.
Behind the scenes.
Oh my god, amazing.
Man. Who would have thought that the dude that like tried to escape it's an episode or two ago ends up saving the day and like throwing pigeons and stuff.
I was just like could you imagine if like that pigeon just goes and someone's just like, nope.
Just bro, how long did you have that pigeon in your jacket?
Yeah.
Like, well.
Yeah, like, is it just been there this entire time? Like, nobody was able to find that later? Like, they were just like, what's under this curtain? Oh, hey, that's a pigeon. What do we... or a dove. Like, what do we do with this dove? Do we keep it? Do we eat it? What's going on?
Yeah. Just it's a little snack.
Yeah, they just leave it for later. And like, we'll come back to it.
I get to be fresh.
I mean, also, how long has he been there? Has it only been a day? Like, I don't understand.
It's been pretty recently because Jade, one thing she actually does spot was that, you know, she's like, okay, you're new. And so I think he had recently, you know, maybe only been there for like a day or two.
I'm assuming because I was like, "There's no way."
Yeah, I mean, aside from housing pigeons in his, you know, in his jacket, he just goes full like Joker on this dude, like that guard.
So great.
And slits his neck.
Yeah, he's just like, no.
So cool. I was like, wow, he really progressed quickly.
Can we talk about
this? Wanting to get out. This is slicing people's neck.
No, yeah, I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
but
totally.
It was just so funny because it's so nitpicky. But I love when he was like, I can't remember what the line was.
Yeah, I was about to say he even had like a kill line. Yeah, I was like, wow.
But like when he picked up the lid of that thing that held up for like a good like two. Like I counted, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5.
Yeah.
I was like, how we know that there's a knife in there. We can cut faster. I don't know what's happening. It was just really funny because in my head I was thinking reality wise, he was just like. And go. Yeah. Like, it was like you had to take a beat.
Just pause. You see the knife. I
cool?
see you seeing the knife.
Yeah, and now you're gonna die.
You're gonna die. True. No, it was a dramatized moment.
Yeah, because it was like zoomed in and then it zoomed back out, and I was like, what just happened?
I did like, you know, how he did have like a punchline. I think it was like, he was like, what? The guy was like, finally, like what's like served or something. He's like, chaos.
Yeah,
or something like that.
It was a one-worded line, and I was like, I'm gonna gag now.
It was very like popcorn B-movie fun.
No, you're right. It was chaos. It literally was just stuff. Like, he was literally just like, just a little bit of chaos. Yeah. And I was like,
just with a side of chaos.
I was like, what's happening? Am I watching like Adam West Batman? What's going on?
Oh, quality stuff, Gabriel. Yeah. He's not all pigeons and knives, this guy.
Just a little bit, though. Oh my God, it's terrible.
But what's not terrible is sort of the main event of this, the rider slang. I was so happy of just the way that it went down. Not only did Quinn have the like entrance of a millennial, like he like
so good, his slow motion,
the slow motion walk, just so the ultimate badass. Like he's like back to being my favorite character again
every time.
I don't know, like he's like the worst, but also the best at the same time. I think
that's why he's the best character is because the fact that we went from seeing him being this like tyrannical kind of ruler, baron, if you want to call it, in that aspect of just like you just knew there was something like there's something seriously wrong with you. You find out what's wrong with him, like, oh, that explains a lot, but also you're just so awesome.
Totally.
That it's fine.
I'm trying to think of like another character that I've both wanted to like have get killed. Like so bad, but also rooted for so much. Like
nobody that I can think of.
Yeah, when you know, Ryder like turned and like ran like a little girl.
Oh my God, can we talk about that? I love how comical it was. It was like
he Cuddy bounced from that whole thing so fast.
He like backed up really slowly, didn't say a word.
Slow walk.
It was was like New Girl. I was like, I'm gonna slowly awkward moonwalk away here, and then like I didn't know what he was. I thought he was gonna like try to charge. No, he just like went around his regent,
and
jumped
just, like,
into a
hopped
window
through the window, just whoop.
And I love how Quinn was just
And I'm
like
out.
slowly walking up the stairs, sees Jade, and then I love how it's like he just kind of looks up, just literally just like a lean up, and then you just see in the window just hauling ass. Like it was
just
insane.
booking. Oh man, it's such a killer entrance
So
that Quinn did, and like even his lines were so awesome too. He was like,
Oh my God.
"You stole like." You basically had me killed.
Yep.
You stole like my house, everything I own, my
lady.
new wife.
Yep.
And you've even raided my closet, son. Like what? Like have you no decency? And yeah, he just basically called him a little bee.
I just can't believe that they actually showed him running in the background.
It was the best. Like such a perfect end, because like when he was like running and like not even defending himself, like he couldn't even face his dad. He was literally running away. He left Jade. Like he wasn't even like, let's go.
He was just like, deuces.
He was just like, peace. I'm out. I am like
And she didn't even do anything. She was just like, please, Quinn, please, Quinn, please, don't kill him. I'm like, you should have saw this coming.
It's happening.
And then we had like the Shining moment of like, no, like literally the Shining of him running through, and he's just like, how creepy was Quinn when he was like, Ryder?
Yeah, just hunting him down. Oh man, it was so. It just built it up so much. I was like, yes.
It's so funny.
I mean, Ryder has not been our favorite character.
Dude, he sucks. You guys can hate me all you want. He sucks.
Yeah, no, I mean he's one where you just hate and hate and hate and hate.
So like I'm so glad.
And so when he was running away, I was like, yes, like have him suffer for as long as possible. And then there was kind of like a moment when he was facing off directly. He kind of like ran out of hedge maze, and they
new rap album.
Yeah,
Hedge Maze.
Hedge Maze. Hit the Hedge Maze with the like Greek Titan thing happening.
I was so confused as to what that was. I'm assuming it's just decoration. I didn't know if it like stood for something. I couldn't really see what it was because I didn't know if it was like a father-son thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't tell what it was, but it was interesting the fact that he still hesitated to kill his dad.
No, totally. And like it was an interesting moment because I had made my decision. I had written the yes to kill. And they kind of had like once they came face to face, I think it was a little bit more difficult for them. Like it was especially for Quinn, he was like he got Ryder to actually face him, and he was like standing up in a way that I think was a little surprising.
Yep.
Because I think it would have been easier for Quinn to like if he kept running to kill him that way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But he was actually like standing his ground somewhat. He called him out on like misnaming the whatever Titan statue thing was.
Yeah, did not know what that was.
So it was a little historical battle back and forth.
Sure.
But also they kind of he was like, yeah, you should like kill me, like if you can.
I thought he was gonna do it. I was like, you can't bring Quinn back and then kill him in the fourth episode.
Yeah,
this can't happen.
that would be very disappointing.
I didn't expect what was gonna happen next. I did not think that was gonna happen, and then it did, and I was like, whoa! And then I was like, at the very same time, which is terrible. But I was just like, I'm done with this storyline. But it was weird because it seemed like Quinn was shocked that he did it. And then sad that it happened, and then he had to walk away from it anyway. Right.
Well, yeah, it was interesting because I think both of them like realized what was about to happen. Like there is not enough room for the both of them in the Badlands.
No.
One of them had to go, and so they were both kind of struggling. Like, okay, I'm gonna try to do it, and they couldn't. Like
no, he couldn't do it.
Clearly, Quinn got over that and did it.
Yeah, and he's like, why did you hesitate? And I was like, why did you kill your son if you don't want to kill him? Make up your mind.
Right. No, I think he let it. He gave his son a chance. He was like, yeah, if you can do it, do it.
Yeah,
and like
because
I'll let you.
Yeah, because I'm like, if this is what you want, if you want to show me that you are a man and you want to take my land and take my wife and all this kind of
then
stuff,
you better
show me that you're worth
to like
it.
actually, yeah. And because
he
didn't, he was like, all right, well then you're done.
Does that go back to that the previous episode where he tests that boy to cut him?
True.
Yes.
That's
no,
right.
he does. And that's
correct.
kind of this like very feudal like wolf
No, it's great.
society kind
Yeah.
of thing that he's building. Like you need to, like you keep what you kill almost.
No, you gotta, you know, if you're gonna sit there and try to take some man's land, especially your dad, like you need to have some sort of moxie or something, like
Right.
just to show, like, hey, you know, I'm not here to play around. I'm, you know, I mean, if Quinn can kill her husband, I mean, clearly he was a monster too.
Right.
But like the fact that she would rather kill the person that she loved at one point to take the land and be a better ruler is huge. He couldn't even do that. He would rather do
Right.
everything in secrecy and betray him a different way. It's terrible. Like,
Well,
you couldn't face him.
Yeah,
Even
you're
now.
not gonna survive in the Badlands with an attitude like that, Ryder.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
again,
happens.
he got what was coming.
Yeah.
So happy he's dead. I don't care what y'all say. I'm done. Done. And just done.
Yep. Done. So I mean, we can, although we didn't bury Ryder, and we've seen, like, I just bring this up because we thought Quinn was dead and he wasn't.
No.
I'm pretty
fine.
sure that the Ryder's done though.
No, I mean, I will
Because
be...
Jade like runs over to him. She could have called like, I don't know, like 911 Badlands
whatever.
or something.
1-800 Badlands, please help
Yeah.
us. I mean, maybe he survived. I have no idea. I hope not. I'm gonna be real,
Yeah,
guys.
that'll be a twist.
I'm
I really
gonna
do not
lie.
want that, though.
I'm gonna be very upset if I see this man with his eyes open, like not dead.
Totally.
Whatever. It was weird that Quinn was like, he had his hand up when like
Right.
Jade was running towards her dead husband. Like, it couldn't tell if he was like waving by or just because he's just
Right.
stuff going on. But it was very interesting. And then, like I said, we had, you know, we didn't get to see Sunny at all in this episode. It was just really well balanced, and I think this was my favorite one so far.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
this episode was awesome. Even though we didn't have any Sunny, like it was so much other good stuff
Yeah.
going on. Very cool episode. Can't wait until the next episode. Where, they definitely teased that Sunny will be back, so that is a plus. And yeah, I'm very curious to see what the fallout is of this whole conclave and like a lot of people being
Yeah,
dead.
I will save my predictions for next week because I know we're running out of time. So
Totally.
because it's definitely, I think Tilda could do a lot of helping or hurting in the
Yeah.
next few episodes.
Ooh, gonna be very interesting.
Yeah.
And yeah, Chow's on the run. I mean, yeah, it's very interesting to see. Like, I'm guessing that the Baron's gonna take back his home. And yeah, the whole like widow, like they've got some cleaning up to do.
I know, I'm very excited. It's gonna be good.
Well, tune in next week, guys. We will have much more Badlands to talk about. It will be episode 5, so we'll be halfway through the season. Oh man, it went by so fast, so
It's
fast.
quick.
Until then, where can the people find you?
You guys can find me all over social media and on the interwebs at atorres890. That's ATORRES 890. I'm on literally a bunch of shows on AfterBuzz right now. Like, I can't even, like, I think the list is about 8 shows this year.
Nice, wow.
It's insane. So definitely keep up with me there so you can see what's happening in the next few weeks. And I will also be doing my own podcast sometime soon, and I'll keep you guys updated on that on this great website called trendpunk.com.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And you guys can keep up with me at Hey John Blake. We will see you next week.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.